Rugby Laws 19, the Scrum. Principle. Purpose of the Scrum is to restart play with a contest for possession after a minor infringement or stoppage. 1. Where the game is restarted with a Scrum and which team throws in is determined as follows. Now this is a column chart. Infringement, then location of the Scrum, who throws in. So knock on or throw forward apart from at a lineout. In the Scrum zone at the point closest to the place of infringement, the non-offended team. Knock on or throw forward at a lineout. Incorrect throw at a lineout, incorrect quick throw. 15 meters in from the mark of touch, the non-offending team. Offside and open play, Scrum option in the Scrum zone at the point closest to where the offending team last played the ball, the non-offending team. A penalty or free kick, Scrum option in the Scrum zone at the point closest to where the infringement took place, the non-offended team. The ball is taken in goal by the defending team and made dead. In the Scrum zone at the point closest to where the ball was made dead, the attacking team. An unplayable tackle or ruck in the Scrum zone at the point closest to where the tackle or ruck took place. The team last moving forward. If neither team was moving forward, the attacking team. A maul that ends unsuccessfully in the Scrum zone at the point closest to where the maul ended. Team not in possession at the start of the maul. If the referee cannot decide which team had possession, the team moving forward before the maul stopped. If neither team was moving forward, the attacking team. An unplayable maul after kick in open play. In the Scrum zone at the point nearest to the place of the maul. Team in possession at the start of the maul. Global law trial. An incorrect kickoff or restart kick. Scrum option. In the Scrum zone as near as possible to the middle point of the line behind which the kickoff or restart kick was taken. Non-kicking team. Failure to use it at Scrum, Ruck, or Maul. In the Scrum zone at the point closest to where the Scrum, Ruck, or Maul. Team not in possession. The ball or ball carrier touches the referee and either team gains an advantage. In the Scrum zone at the point closest to the incident. Team that last played the ball. Stoppage due to injury. If the Scrum zone at the point where the ball was last played. The team last in possession. Reset Scrum. No infringement. Where the original Scrum took place. Team originally awarded the Scrum. Penalty attempt at goal not taken within the time limit. In the Scrum zone at the point closest to where the penalty was awarded, the non-offending team. Player unable to take a free kick after a mark within 1 minute. In the Scrum zone at the point closest to where the free kick was awarded. Team of player who was awarded the free kick. The ref awards a Scrum for any other reason not covered in the law. In the Scrum zone at the point closest to the place of stoppage, the team that was last moving forward, or if neither team was moving forward, the attacking team. That's what it looks like. 2. A Scrum is formed in the Scrum zone at a mark indicated by the referee. 3. The referee makes the mark to create the middle line of the Scrum, which runs parallel to the goal lines. 4. Teams must be ready to form the Scrum within 30 seconds of the mark being made. Sanction free kick. When both teams have 15 players, 8 players from each team bind together in formation as outlined in the diagram. Each team must have 2 props, 1 hooker in the front row and 2 locks in the second row. 3 back row players with each team complete the Scrum. Sanction penalty. When a team is reduced to fewer than 15 for any reason, then the number of players in each team in the Scrum may be similarly reduced. Where a permitted reduction is made by one team, there is no requirement for the other team to make the similar reduction. However, a team must not have fewer than 5 players in the Scrum. The players in the Scrum bind in the following way. The prop binds to the hooker. Hooker binds with both arms. This can be either over or under the arms of the prop. The locks bind with props immediately in front of them and with each other. All other players in the Scrum bind on the lock's body with at least 1 arm. Sanction penalty. The 2 groups face each other either side of and parallel to the middle line. The 2 front rows stand not more than an arm's length apart with the hookers at the mark. Engagement. 10. When both sides are square, stable, and stationary, the referee calls crouch. A. The front rows then adopt a crouch position if they have not already done so. Their heads and shoulders are no lower than their hips, a position that is maintained for the duration of the Scrum. B. Front rows crouch with their heads to the left of their immediate opponent so that no player's head is touching the neck or shoulders of an opponent. Sanction free kick. 11. When both sides are square, stable, and stationary, the referee shouts bind. Each loose head prop binds by placing the left arm inside the right arm of the opposing tight head prop. Each tight head prop binds by placing the right arm outside the left arm upper arm of the opposing loose head prop. Each prop binds by gripping the back or side of their opponent's jersey. All players' binding is maintained for the duration of the scrum. Sanction penalty. 12. When both sides are square, stable, and stationary, the referee calls set. Only then may the teams engage, completing the formation of the scrum and creating a tunnel into which the ball will be thrown. All players must be in position and ready to push forward. Each front row player must have their feet on the ground with their weight firmly on at least 1 foot. Each hooker's feet must be in line with or behind the foremost foot of the team's prop. Sanction free kick. Throw. The scrum half chooses which side of the scrum to throw the ball. 14, the scrum half holds the ball as shown in the diagram. When both sides are square, stable, and stationary, the scrum half throws in the ball. A, from the chosen side. B, from outside the tunnel. C, without delay. D, with a single forward movement. E, at a quick speed. F, straight. The scrum half may align their shoulders on the middle line of the scrum, thereby standing a shoulder width closer to their side of the scrum, so that it first touches the ground inside the tunnel. Sanction free kick. During a scrum. 16. The scrum begins when the ball leaves the hands of the scrum half. 17. Only when the scrum begins may the team push. Sanction free kick. 18. Possession may be gained by pushing the opposition backwards and off the ball. 19. Players may push provided they do so straight and parallel to the ground. Sanction penalty. 20. Front row players may gain possession by striking for the ball, but only once the ball touches the ground in the tunnel. Sanction free kick. 21. A front row player striking for the ball may do so with either foot, but not both at the same time. Sanction penalty. 22. The hooker from the team which threw in the ball must strike for the ball. Sanction free kick. 23. A front row player must not intentionally kick the ball out of the tunnel from the direction in which it was thrown. Sanction free kick. 24. Any player within the scrum may play the ball only with their feet or lower legs. They must not lift the ball. Sanction penalty. 25. If the scrum collapses or if a player in the scrum is lifted or is forced upward out of the scrum, the referee must blow the whistle immediately so that players stop pushing. 26. When the scrum is stationary, the ball has been available at the back of the scrum for 3 to 5 seconds. The referee calls use it. 3 to 5 seconds. The team must then play the ball out of the scrum immediately. Sanction scrum. Offside at the scrum. At a scrum. 27. Players remain onside for the duration of the scrum. Prior to the start of play in the scrum half of the team not throwing the ball stands on that team's side of the middle line next to the opposing scrum half, or at least 5 meters behind the hindmost foot of their team's last player in the scrum, and remains there until the completion of the scrum. 29. Once play in the scrum begins, the scrum half of the team in possession has at least 1 foot level with or behind the ball. Once play in the scrum begins, the scrum half of the team not in possession, A, takes up a position with both feet behind the ball and close to the scrum but not in the space between the flanker and the number 8, or B, permanently retires the point on the offside line either at the team's hindmost foot, or C, permanently retires at least 5 meters behind the hindmost foot. 31. All players not participating in the scrum remain at least 5 meters behind the hindmost foot of their team. 32. When the hindmost foot of the team is in goal or within 5 meters of the team's goal line, the offside line for that team's not participating is the goal line. Non-participants is the goal line. Sanction penalty. As soon as the scrum ends, offside lines no longer apply. Offside. Resetting a scrum. 34. When there is no infringement, referee will stop play and reset the scrum if A, the scrum half throws in the ball and it comes out at either end of the tunnel. B, scrum collapses or breaks up before it has otherwise ended. C, the scrum is wheeled through more than 90 degrees so the middle line has passed beyond a position parallel to the touchline. D, neither side wins possession. E, the ball is unintentionally kicked out of the tunnel. Exception, if the ball is repeatedly kicked out, referee must treat this as intentional. Sanction penalty. 35. When a scrum is reset, the ball is thrown in by the team that previously threw it in. Ending a scrum. The scrum ends. This is 36. When the ball comes out of the scrum in a direction except the tunnel. B, when the ball reaches the feet of the hindmost player and it is picked up by that player or is played by that team scrum half. C, when the number 8 picks up the ball from the feet of a second row player. when the referee blows the whistle for an infringement, when the ball is in a scrum is on or over the goal line. Dangerous play and restricted practices in a scrum. 37. Dangerous play in a scrum includes front row charging against the opposition, B, pulling an opponent, C, intentionally lifting an opponent off their feet or forcing them upwards out of the scrum, D, intentionally collapsing a scrum, E, intentionally falling or kneeling. Sanction penalty 38. Other restricted practices of the scrum include falling on or over the ball immediately after it has emerged from the scrum, scrum half kicking the ball while it is in the scrum, non-front row player holding or pushing an opponent, sanction penalty. D, bringing the ball back into the scrum once it's left. E, non-front row players playing the ball in the tunnel. F, scrum half attempting to make an opponent believe the ball is out of the scrum when it's not, sanction free kick. Scrum law variation 39. A union may implement the under 19 scrum law variations at defined levels of the game within its jurisdiction. Okay, we're done.